Oh, this is Rick Mahorn, the bad boy, giving a shout out to my man Drew, Detroit Drew. Make sure you tune in on his YouTube channel, Detroit Drew. Bad boy.
Peeps, how's it going, man? And unfortunately, I have to be the bearer of bad news to all the Jello fans, but the Pistons announced that they have waived 3 players in Liangelo Ball, Lou King, and Anthony Lamb. Now, for me, I'm saddened by this for several reasons. For one, we never really gave King or Ball really much of a shot, or really Lamb for that matter. We really didn't get to see him play a whole lot preseason. I know King got to play a little bit last night, but for the most part, I was really high on him. You know, hearing what some of his G League friends and players had to say, we had a couple of them on above the rim, and they all thought he was the real deal. You know, there was a couple times where King locked up Sekou in practices and stuff like that. You know, I think he had a lot of potential. I don't like letting young players go when we don't give them an opportunity. But, looking at the flip side, we have a ton of guards here. And that's really what Jello played. King was really more of a small forward. And now that we got Grant, Josh Jackson, Sekou, minutes for him are going to be tough to come by anyway. And it's like all the guys we have here are really young anyway for the most part. So it would have been hard for him to get some minutes in the future. Same thing for Jello. I know a lot of you, like I said, Jello fans are going to be mad we let him go, especially since we didn't play him at all in the preseason. Given that, we opted out of the G League bubble, I think that's where he would have gone anyway for the Pistons. And it just kind of sucks because right now the league is still talking about expanding the roster from 13 to 15 just because of that reason alone. And I think that he would have been good enough to make that, but like I said, we have a lot of people on this team right now, a lot of free agents that we've signed that you have to give opportunities to because you're paying them money. So it's a mixture of things. For your Jello fans, do not worry. Okay, Jello is going to find a home eventually. He's a good player. He's going to be solid. He brings a lot to the team. It's just like I said, we just had so many other players here that we have to give opportunities to before you gave that to Jello. He really wasn't a long-term option, really. I think he was going to be more of a G League player for us this year anyway to help develop him. He just needs more time. He's not as good as his other 2 brothers yet. His other 2 brothers are NBA ready. Him, not so much. Yeah, he's a great 3-point shooter. He plays good defense, and he can pass the ball, but he's got a lot more to work on. So for you Jello fans, you just have to stay patient with him. His time will come. In terms of King, I just hope he goes to a good team and gets that opportunity. A team that maybe is struggling, one of the worst teams, maybe he can get an extended role there and really showcase what he can do. But even him, he still has a lot he needs to work on and improve on. I think that the Pistons just looked hard at the roster and said, we can't give these guys opportunities right now, so we're going to have to let them go. So in the NBA, it's a never say never league. Anyone can come back at any point in time. So if you like these players, there's still an opportunity for them to come back in the future. Just right now with what we had, they weren't going to get any playing time. They couldn't go to the G League because the Pistons probably aren't going to have a G League team this year because of the Rona. So it sucks. It's a disappointment, I know, but there's not a whole lot we can do. Right now our primary focus should be on Killian Hayes, developing him, make sure we surround him with more talent, and make sure he gets better. Sekou Naboya, same thing with him, and same thing with Sadiq Bey and Stewart. Those are really the guys that we're trying to build around. Plus, if they are going to go ahead and increase the roster, I like what I've seen from Saban Lee so far. So he'll probably be one of those guys who initially probably would have gone down to the G League, will probably be on the expanded roster now if the NBA okays that. So like I said, so many young players, so many minutes you can give out before, you take away minutes from people like Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin. You don't want to cut those guys' minutes as much as possible. Right now, we have a lot we have to work on. I think we have a lot of talent. It's just about figuring out which lineup's going to work together right now. And, that's something that we haven't really seen yet. Dwayne Casey's been sticking with the group so far. The only really change that I've seen so far is Okafor playing with the starters and not Plumlee. So something that we got to figure out in the next 2 preseason games against Washington before the December 23rd tip-off for the Detroit Pistons. So for right now, we just got to sit back, relax, and see where this team's going to go. But let me know what you guys think about all the waves, man. I know a lot of you guys will probably be sad to see King Gong, Jello fans. It was nice to have you on the Pistons for 2 days. But it is what it is. But leave it down below in the comments. I'll be sure to read all of them. Instagram, Twitter, DSA members, DSA website, all in the description. We'll be live for Above the Rim this Wednesday and Saturday, so stay tuned for all that. Without further ado, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and that's the bottom line, because Detroit Drew said so. Stay safe. See ya. Peace.